What's going on, Wolfman fans? So, I didn't put out a video either this last weekend or the weekend before. Apologize for that. The weekend before, there was supposed to be the discussion panel about the Second Amendment and the Second American Civil War. It was going to happen, but to be honest, we were too drunk to even do it. We ended up playing cornhole and Cards Against Humanity and stuff all night, just continually getting more and more drunk. So that didn't happen. And this last weekend just had stuff going on. But it is what it is. That's the life. That's how it is on the daily. You never can tell what the weekend's going to hold. So there it is. I will say this. There's been a lot of good commentary on the Second American Civil War video I made. Thank you guys, every one of you guys, for the comments that you make. I haven't been able to reply to every one of them, but I do try to read as many as I can. And a lot of good points have been made. A lot of you guys have called me delusional, but I will give you your credit. You did back up your argument with something, some kind of a comment, something more substantial than, just, calling me names, which is kind of messed up. But I'll say this. Look, I said before, we should try to avoid any kind of conflict such as a second civil war as much as possible, as much as humanly possible, for the mere sake of the bloodshed, the loss of life on a, truly, how do I put this, outstanding, epic scale. We don't need that. Granted, there is a lot of loss of life, there's a lot of bloodshed nowadays, but I guarantee you, if it came to a civil war, it'd be 10 times worse, guys. Now, that's not to say that I don't believe that it's possible. I do believe it's possible. And I didn't go back and review what I said in my last video, so if some of this contradicts my last video, consider this how I feel as of this moment, especially after reading a lot of y'all's comments, reviewing y'all's comments. I don't believe it's not possible. It absolutely is. And I believe that if things were to continue in a way kind of down the road they're going right now, yeah, it's inevitable. Simply put, there is a lot of people who are not going to stand for our nation being torn apart the way it is by the liberal or progressives, or the leftist progressives out there. We're not going to tolerate that. Sorry for the camera movement there, guys. But we're not going to tolerate such things. And I honestly can't blame any one of you who say it's time to take up arms. I can't blame any one of you for saying that. I myself would hesitate to say such a thing because, I don't want to take up arms against my fellow Americans in any way, shape, or form. However, the more and more they push for open borders, the more and more they push for, less restrictive voter IDs or banishing the Electoral College, this, that, and the other. You guys know the same arguments that I do. That's pushing it that direction. And it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say that it could happen. So I'm not delusional enough to think that it won't happen, but I think it should be avoided if at all costs. And I can say right now, 100% that we are doing everything we can, as I say we, as far as on the Republican side of the House, on the right-wing side, or whatever you want, conservative side, whatever you want to call it. They're doing everything they can in the government to try to keep it. Maybe not everybody, but there's certainly a lot of people pushing for it. The good news is we got a lot of up-and-comers, this next generation up-and-coming that's like high school aged, maybe just getting ready to go into college, that's more on the right-wing side of the house. And they have the same beliefs that we do, that were looked at by the leftists as old school and outdated and all that stuff. So there's some hope there. I still don't want to draw weapons against those of my country on my country's soil. I still don't want to do that. And I hope that some of you out there can understand what I'm saying and why I'm saying it. But if it comes down to it, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do what I got to do. Don't think I'm not. Don't make the mistake of just because I'm thinking that and I'm talking about how much I don't want it to happen. Don't make the mistake of thinking that that means I'm not going to do something if the time comes. Because at that point, it's about protecting myself and my family, and preserving this nation the way it's supposed to be, the way it is laid down in the law of the land, in the Constitution. And it does need to be upheld, and it does need to be protected. I took an oath, I've taken it 4 times now, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. That is not an oath that dies, that continues. And I truly believe that anybody that did take that oath and stand up willingly to put on the uniform and go fight overseas, you should be just as ready to fight on your own soil. Because that, I believe, is truly defending your freedom, defending the freedoms of this nation, like you've never thought of before. You thought going to Afghanistan and Iraq, that was fighting and defending freedom? No. This is a whole new version of that. Now, again, I do hope that, excuse that light right there, guys. I do hope that we can avoid it. I don't want it to happen. With every ounce of my being, I don't want it to happen. But if it happens, I know myself and a lot of other people, certainly a lot of you guys in the comments, you're ready to go, you're ready to do your part. And I'd be proud to do my part alongside every one of you. I don't want to see us turn out like Europe is today, where you can't even carry so much as a freaking spork in your pocket in England, and this whole European Union. I don't want to see us go the same way. I don't think we will. We're too strong. Our people are too strong. The government, and this is something I remind anybody, the government, it's just the government. It's a very small group of people. The people of the United States is where the true power lies. So, let's not forget that. Anyway, I did want to put out this video to kind of talk a little bit more about that and my true feelings on it. It is a concern, I do believe. There's a lot of people just antsy, and they're ready to itchy trigger fingers, man. So, be careful. Take your finger off the trigger, set your weapon down, and just hang out for a second. And if it comes down to it, don't be afraid to pick it up and go to town. But until that time comes, just chill. Just chill out. So, but yeah, I'm with a lot of you guys. I loved your arguments. I loved a lot of the discussion. Honestly, I'm just one man with a lot of things to do during my working day, so I don't always have time to respond to every single comment. But I love that you guys are talking back and forth, and the discussion is continuing. That's exactly the kind of thing I like to see. I like to get to get that ball rolling, and to get that discussion churning among those out there who really care about the state of the affairs of this country. So awesome. I'm glad to see you guys talking about it. I'm glad to hear the things you got to say, both positive and negative feedback. So yeah, that's where I stand on that one. Yeah, so this is on a odd upload, but I felt I owed it to you guys to say what my piece right here. I owed it to you guys to say this because I told you I was going to. Don't worry, there still will be another upload this weekend, and I'm actually going to move away from the second American Civil War argument and discussion, because I think right now we're kind of beating a dead horse, and I believe at this point we're all kind of on the same page at this point. Maybe I'm a little bit delusional in hoping it doesn't happen, but I'll take that. We all know what may have to be done at some point, and I at least can be assured in knowing that you guys are willing to do the dirty work, or at least I hope you are. I hope you're ready to get your hands dirty if it comes to that. Sounds like you guys are, so that's great. And we got some really good true patriots on this page, and that's good to know. So anyway, this next week's video, I'm going to focus on something a little bit different. It's going to be along the same, same common sense political sidelines as it always is, but again, I'm going to move away from the Second American Civil War, because at this point we're beating a dead horse, and I think we're all on the same page, so I think we can move away from it. Excuse the spitting. I've been changing out brakes, and if you guys know about brake drums and brake shoes, the drums, they're lined with asbestos, and I've been changing out brakes all day, so I kind of feel like I might have some in my mouth, so I'm constantly washing my mouth out with spit or whatever and getting it out of there, because I don't need that in my body. But anyways, I'm not dipping, by the way. I'm just getting that crap out of my body. That's really all I got, guys. I hope you like my makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to apply liberally to your hands and to your arms for a truly beautiful face and body to go out on the town with. No, but seriously, guys. Again, apologize for the last couple missed uploads. Glad to see you guys are sticking with me, and hope to see you again this next video. You guys, until then, as always, stay awesome and take it easy. Later.